Welcome and thank you for joining me, Alyssa Arundell, for your June 2020 tarot card reading. If you haven't already and you'd like to check out your free 3-card tarot spread, you can do so in the description box beneath this video. These are not generic readings. Every outcome is written for the tense that it is made for. So you get real clear insights into your own situation absolutely for free. And please, I'd be honored if you pressed the subscribe button and notification bell so that you get alerted every time Patrick and I drop a new video. But without further ado, let's get into our reading for June 2020. Hello Scorpio, and thank you so much for joining me for your monthly tarot card reading for June 2020. Let's see what comes up. So this is your present situation here. You have the 5 of Swords. The 5 of Swords isn't the easiest card. You know, you could feel like someone around you isn't maybe being very honest. You could feel as though there are battles that you're not winning. It's kind of like nobody wins in this situation. Even if you win an argument, you don't necessarily feel as though you won because there's been an argument. So let's see more what this is about. Well, you got the Page of Pentacles here. So it could be a youth in your life that you have a disagreement with, particularly around areas of finance or material. So it could be as simple as someone, you know, a youth in your life spending more money than they have. Scorpio. And that could like annoy you a little bit. If that isn't the case, I think it could be like you know, you're trying very hard to balance your material resources, and maybe other people bragging about what they have could irk you a bit this month, because perhaps this isn't been the easiest of times for you, especially in the current climate. So it's just to bear in mind to try and keep your cool if you can, but feel free to speak up for yourself also if it's, you know, something that you feel needs said. Your foundation card here is the 4 of Wands. So this is actually really lovely. This is your home environment. This is your family. I think your family are going to be very closely linked to your thinking this month, making sure that they're okay. Now, it might not be a family you're born into or a blood family. It could even be very close friends. But, you know, 4 is foundation, and 4 is what our lives are built upon. And Scorpio, you have this as your foundation card. And so I think, you know, other months may have been more to do with flightiness, about adventure, about romance. And we don't know. Maybe those things will still come up. But I get the feeling this is more about being grounded this month and anchored to your home. Let's have a look at your past situation here, Scorpio. So we have the King of Cups. This could be somebody in your life who was older than you, who you've had a you know, love affair with in some way in your past. You know, if it doesn't represent a person, it's a situation where you felt he's sliding all over the place. This could be a situation where you felt like a lot of compassion for someone, or someone's been very compassionate and caring towards you and maybe giving you a chance in some way. I feel that this is someone who's still very much part of your life in some way. Let's have a look at the card that's spiritually crowning you here. You got the 9 here. So 9s really represent completion in some ways. But when the 9 of Wands makes an appearance, this is very much about standing up for what you've created. It's about protecting what you've created. Could be that there's a bit of gossip that goes on this month, Scorpio, and you've got to be like, no, you've got to protect your own brand. You've got to protect, you know, who you are. Could be that someone takes an idea or takes credit for something that you've done, and you're like, what? I think you really need to stand your ground on this one this month, Scorpio, and don't let people take the biscuit, so to speak. So your immediate future, though, is the 8 of Wands. The Eight of Wands is very fast-paced energy. It's go, go, go. It's a lot of movement. I feel like, this could be a month where you're torn in lots of different directions. I think you want to be focused on your home, your family, but something might pull you away from that. It could be a job. It could be your own thoughts. It could be worries over finances in particular. But I want to have more of a look into your state of mind for this month, Scorpio. So this is actually really very, very positive. You got here the Nine of Pentacles for your state of mind. This is about harvest and reaping the rewards for your hard work. You've planted those seeds. You've really, really, tried your hardest on something. You could see some benefits come from this. You could see some monetary gain this month eventually. Could come more towards the end of the month. I think you should give yourself a pat on the back, because I feel that you're really staying in a positive frame of mind, even if there are slight annoyances, arguments amongst the family. In some way, you're still staying very true to that type of law of attraction type, philosophy, where you're keeping focused on the prize. Outside influences here, we have the Pope, the Hierophant. He is a very traditional character, can represent churches, can represent organizations, government bodies in some way. So if you're involved in any of these things, then it could be that type of organization that means a lot to you, or is in some way influential in your life. If it doesn't represent an actual organization, then I feel it could represent the need to keep to a traditional route. Individualism isn't always the best way to go, because sometimes we need to maybe sacrifice our individualism in order to do the right thing. And so may not be a great month for taking sides. I think another sign had that come up for them this month. I think it was maybe Libras. It's very much Scorpio for you. I feel like you've got to just stick to things that have worked, stick to tradition. I'm getting. If you stick to tradition, then I don't think you're going to go far wrong this month, to be honest. Your hopes and fears here are the Three of Coins. This is the Mason and the Apprentices. This is a card of learning. It's a card of building. And it's a card of teamwork. It's about building trust. It's about teaching as well. This is like a coming together. I do feel that for you, Scorpio, this month, an organization of some kind is going to be very important. It could be a new thing. It could be something online, where you're still allowed to have your, free thoughts, obviously. But I feel like it could be a community or a group of people that really get you. And I think you might find some solace and some just comfort in talking to people who share the same beliefs as you. I think that could be a very positive thing in your life for this month, spiritually. And let's have a little look at your outcome here, Scorpio. So you have the World. You couldn't ask for much better than that. You've got the World at your fingers. This is card 21. And this is the final card in the Tarot's, in the Fool's journey. So he started off as 0. He went through all these trials, tribulations, learning, releasing, connecting, spending time alone. All these chapters and milestones in our life, and then comes to the World, and it's time for a new adventure now. It's time for a new quest. It's time for something new. So I feel for this month, it's like nothing massively dramatic is coming up in your spread. It's more tying up loose ends, doing the admin type work, just getting your house in order, maybe physically and maybe within your mind, because I feel like the following month after this, there could definitely be some new adventures when this card comes up. So take this month to get done everything you need to, so you're in a perfectly good setup for the following one. Thank you so much for joining me here this month. I really do appreciate you spending your time with me. If you would like to book a one-to-one session with me, I will leave that information in the description box. You can also order your digital tarot card reading, which is emailed directly to you. So if you want to check that out, also prices are very affordable. I'll leave that in the description box too. But until we speak again the next time, I'm wishing you lots of peace and stay safe. Warm wishes, Alyssa.